it's John here, and we're going to go and continue with our final video of the series with our look at League One fixture list, and we're going to continue with Wigan Athletic. So where do Wigan start? They start at home, that's okay, but it's against Charlton Athletic, so this is going to be quite a tough one to start with. And by the look of it, August is going to be a bit of a pig, because it's Wigan versus Charlton Athletic, followed by Reading versus Wigan. And then we see Wigan versus Crawley. A bit of a breather perhaps, but then it's Birmingham City versus Wigan. So it's not a really very good start. It's not the worst start, however, it's not a great start. And that month, August, they have 2 away, 2 home. That's quite a difficult month. We go into September, and it's Wigan Athletic Stevenage, Bristol Rovers Wigan, Lincoln Wigan, and then Wigan Exeter. So we've got a bit of a breather now. We've got a bit of a breather in September, and we go into October, which is a 6-game month, I believe. Yep. See where they are: 3 home and 3 away. Wigan Athletic Peterborough, a difficult game. Stockport Wigan, Wigan Northampton, Cambridge Wigan, and Wigan Mansfield. So nice games, nice League One games there. And then Blackpool Wigan. Yep, who knows? That could be a bit of a banana skin perhaps. Into November, the short month, and yeah, it's not too bad, I suppose. They'd be okay with November. Wigan Athletic versus Wycombe. Wigan versus Burton, so again two home games as well, so that's quite good. And then Barnsley Wigan, so that's going to be a little bit of perhaps a banana skin there. And it's followed in December by Huddersfield Wigan. So if I'm right, that's away from home. So they travel to on a Saturday the 23rd to Barnsley, and then on Tuesday the 3rd, days later, they're up the road in Huddersfield. So so Barnsley one day, and 3 days later, or whatever, 4 days later to Huddersfield. So that's not too good a week really. Wigan Athletic Leyton Orient, Bolton Wigan, Wigan Shrewsbury, and the last 2 games of December on Boxing Day, it's Rotherham United Wigan, and then on the 29th it's Wrexham Wigan. So let's see where their away games are for the fans. They start December going away to Huddersfield, then they go away to Bolton, then they go away to Rotherham, and then they go away to Wrexham. So I think where they all are, I don't think we're too worried about the distance. I think it's just the manner of the teams they're playing. Knowing the Wigan setup and the Wigan fans, they're probably not too worried about who they're playing, but they are of a higher quality than the standard League One outfits. So December's not too bad. It's not horrendous, but it's not brilliant. And we go to January. It's Wigan Huddersfield, Wigan Birmingham, and then Crawley Wigan, Stevenage Wigan, and then Wigan Bristol Rovers, and we finish with Peterborough Wigan. So it's a bit of 50-50. That's not too bad. You would have hoped not to get Huddersfield at home and Birmingham at home the game afterwards, but I think on the whole, because you've got Crawley and Stevenage straight after it, the fans will probably be thinking, we can get over that, enjoy the games, and then get some points in the bag. Into February, Wigan Lincoln, Exeter Wigan, Wigan Stockport, and Wigan away to Wycombe. So Wycombe Wigan. So that's not a bad mix. March, so we're going into the end now. They're really trying to get some points on the board and perhaps try and push for the top half of the league, hopefully the top 6. How are they going to try and do it? It's going to be March the 1st with Wigan Reading, Mansfield Wigan, Wigan Cambridge. So by now they're gaining some momentum, hopefully. Charlton Wigan, and then Burton Wigan, and then Wigan Barnsley. So that's a nice mix. A couple of banana skins, but at a point where they can probably try and take the momentum on. April the 1st, Wigan versus Bolton Wanderers, and then Leyton Orient Wigan. You see, nice mix. And then Wigan Wrexham, Shrewsbury Wigan, Wigan Rotherham, followed by Wigan versus Blackpool. So that's actually not too bad a mix. We finish with Northampton Wigan. So actually, on the whole, not too bad. There's a couple of tough months, but they're not horrendous. So Wigan haven't done too badly out of it. They could have done better, but I think on the whole, they've done quite well. So let's continue now with our look, and we're going to go to Wrexham. So Wrexham are at home on the first day, on the Saturday the 10th of August. And it's Wrexham versus Wycombe Wanderers. That could be a banana skin to start with. It's then Bolton Wanderers Wrexham, Wrexham Reading, and Peterborough United Wrexham. Now that's actually it's a tough mix, but it's not as tough as some of them have got. You're going to September, and it's Wrexham Shrewsbury, Birmingham Wrexham, Wrexham Crawley, and Leyton Orient Wrexham. That's not bad because the Birmingham game is surrounded by League One games, your typical League One opponent, so they should be relatively happy with that. Stevenage Wrexham into October, and we go Wrexham Northampton, Wrexham Lincoln, Rotherham United Wrexham, Wrexham Huddersfield, and then they finish with Charlton Wrexham. So those last three games are two away, Rotherham United and Charlton, and in the middle of those two, they're at home to Huddersfield Town. So that's actually quite a threesome there. So that's at the end of October. So where do they go in November, in the short month? Well, it's Wrexham Mansfield, Stockport Wrexham, and Wrexham Exeter. So that's a nice run there. They can just gain some momentum there, if they haven't already, which I'm expecting them to do. And they're into December. December's an interesting month. It's one of those months that the fans just want to be able to not travel too far. There's 6 games. It's a cold month, so they don't really want to be traveling hundreds of miles to get on a Saturday morning to get to a game. I've done it, and it's not very good. So who do they play in December? It's Wrexham Barnsley, and then it's Burton Wrexham, Wrexham Cambridge, Bristol Rovers Wrexham, Wrexham Blackpool, and Wrexham Wigan. That is actually quite a decent set of League One games, I think. You've got Barnsley, which is a bit difficult. Blackpool could be a bit of a banana skin. Wigan could be a bit of a banana skin. How many? They've got two away games, and then against Bristol Rovers and Burton Albion. So not really too much of a travelling conundrum for the Wrexham fans. So they'll probably be quite happy with December. I think they'll be quite happy with that. I go into January, and it's Barnsley Wrexham. We just played Barnsley. Played Barnsley in beginning of December, and they play them again in the beginning of January. So Barnsley Wrexham, Wrexham Peterborough, Reading Wrexham. So 3 potential banana skins there. Wrexham are then away on the 18th of January to Shrewsbury. So Shrewsbury Wrexham, Wrexham Birmingham, and then Wrexham Stevenage. So actually tough-ish, but not a bad mix. February, we go to Crawley Town. So Crawley Wrexham, Wrexham Leyton Orient, Northampton Wrexham, and Mansfield Wrexham. That's a really nice League One February, isn't it? And we go to March, one of our bigger months again. And we're starting to think about the end of the season now. and they start on March the 1st with Wrexham Bolton, Huddersfield Wrexham, Wrexham Rotherham, Wycombe Wrexham, and then finally it's one of their old boys, Wrexham Stockport and Exeter City Wrexham. But those first four are quite tough games. Even the Wycombe could be a bit of a banana skin, but yeah, the first three, Bolton, Huddersfield, Rotherham, and you're thinking, wow, at least two of them are at home, so it's home against Bolton and home against Rotherham. But it's that's going to be a bit of a blip, possibly finishing with Exeter Wrexham, and possibly getting a little bit of momentum back into April, which would be absolutely ideal if they're trying to get to somewhere like the bottom, the top six, or like try and push to a good top half. They really could do with a good April, so let's see what they get in April. Cambridge Wrexham, Wrexham Burton, Wigan Wrexham. Okay, they could be doing quite well at that point in time. Wrexham Bristol Rovers, Blackpool Wrexham, and then Wrexham Charlton. So actually, that's probably a decent mix. So they're really possibly able to get a good grip of the league at that point and get some momentum in. So they finish with in May. It's Lincoln City versus Wrexham, because they finished really well last season. So Wrexham, I think, will be quite happy about that mix, and especially the December. So I think on the whole, Wrexham, yeah, you should be pretty happy with those fixtures. So let's finish with the last one. We're in A to Z, so we are finishing with Wycombe Wanderers. And as we said, it's Wrexham versus Wycombe Wanderers, and then it's Wycombe Wanderers versus Birmingham, Wycombe Wanderers versus Rotherham, and Blackpool versus Wycombe Wanderers. So now Wycombe, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how they do in the transfer window. But Wrexham, they're hoping to spend a little bit more money. They've got a big budget. So that could be a bit of an oddity, and it's the first game in that league, so it's going to be a difficult game for them, possibly Wycombe Wanderers against going to Wrexham. And then Birmingham and Rotherham are obviously going to be possibly quite difficult, and followed by Blackpool, who again, at the end of this transfer window, who knows, they could be pushing as well. So difficult-ish August, possibly quite difficult. And then going to September, Wycombe Wanderers versus Mansfield, Northampton, Wycombe Wanderers, Cambridge, and Bristol Rovers, Wycombe Wanderers. That's actually not too bad. That's a good League One set of fixtures for September. So let's go into October. Barnsley Wycombe, Wycombe Crawley, Stockport Wycombe, Wycombe Peterborough, Burton Wycombe, and Wycombe Leyton Orient. That's actually really good, isn't it? That's a nice, not easy, nothing's easy. A nice League One set of fixtures for October. Short month in November. And expecting one or two tough games to come in again now. Wycombe are away to Wigan, so Wycombe could be difficult. Wycombe, Huddersfield, certainly probably difficult. Lincoln, Wycombe, and Lincoln obviously finished really well last year, so that's a semi-difficult banana skin month there. December, let's see what it's like for the December travel for the Wycombe fans. It's Exeter versus Wycombe. That's a pretty long trip down there. Wycombe, Reading, Shrewsbury, Wycombe, Wycombe, Bolton on the 21st, Stevenage, Wycombe on the 26th, and they finished the year Charlton, Wycombe. So actually, difficulty-wise, not too bad. Not a sort of classical League One class opponent, but not embedded with tons of Championship and possibly Premiership players when we see the likes of Birmingham taking on their recruitment. So that's not bad. And where are they actually going? So 4 trips away from home. So this is going to be quite a travelling travelling expense in December. They go all the way to Exeter, then they go to Shrewsbury, then they go to Stevenage, and then they go to Charlton. So it's a relatively, yeah, there's a fair bit of travel there for the Wycombe fans. Yeah, not the best of December as far as travel's concerned, but at least the opponents are probably beatable by Wycombe standard. And they go into January, and it's Wycombe versus Exeter. Can we get some momentum? Or possibly Wycombe versus Blackpool. We're going to get some of these tough ones coming in now. Rotherham versus Wycombe, and then Mansfield versus Wycombe, Wycombe Northampton, and Wycombe Barnsley. So actually, 4 out of the 6 games are at home, and Rotherham's surrounded by sort of typical League One opponents. So actually, January's not too bad. That's a nice mix. February, we have 4 games, and it's Cambridge Wycombe, Wycombe versus Bristol Rovers, Crawley versus Wycombe, and Wycombe Wigan. So again, yeah, quite a typical League One set of outfits. March, and we're expecting these opponents to come back in now, aren't we? The top 6. And we start on March the 1st with a trip to Birmingham. So it's Birmingham City versus Wycombe, Wycombe Burton Albion, Peterborough Wycombe, Wycombe Wrexham, and then Huddersfield Wycombe, and Wycombe Lincoln. Now, it is actually a bit of a mix. I will say that of those 6, you've probably got just championship opponents. Let's have a look. Birmingham, Peterborough, possibly. Depends how they rebuild their squad. And Huddersfield, certainly. So it's probably a decent mix out of those 6 games, I would say. They're sort of splattered with a few League One opponents. So not too difficult when it comes to looking at it as a whole month. And then going to April, the last month, can they actually produce anything a little bit more momentum wise? It's Wycombe versus Shrewsbury, so it looks like they might be able to. Reading versus Wycombe, possible banana skin. Wycombe versus Stevenage, Bolton Wycombe, that one comes in the middle, and it's quickly followed by Wycombe versus Charlton. So 2 games there to just think about, one at home, one away, and Leyton Orient Wycombe to finish. So they have the possibility there of getting a really good run together and finishing with Wycombe versus Stockport. So guys, I hope you enjoyed all these little videos. I didn't want to go too more than 3, because then you're just waffling on and hoping that you lot just you're just going to be flicking through until you find the one that you want. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I do watch-alongs during the season, and I'm regularly on from sort of 11 o'clock till about 5-6 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday. I hope that you join me. Please like, please subscribe, because down the road, League One is about to start, and so are my watch-alongs. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon at the start of League One.